Right, so good morning everybody, or afternoon or evening or whatever time it is that you're watching this. I highly doubt it's in the morning. Who has the time to watch videos in the morning? Not many people, I imagine. I've got to shout because you're a long way from me over there. So today's video then is about some cultivations. So I've got the Xerion around now on the back at the minute, but I'm dropping that off shortly. I finally remembered, or bought because I've lost it, a head strap. Yeah, so I'm going cultivating today. I'm doing some vining peeland, dropping the Xerion off. Going to put the Grange toolbar on and the Vaderstad Rexius, and we're going to go and get some peeland ready for drilling, because I think they might be coming in end of this week or next week to drill the peas. I had a message off Jordan the other day. Said he recognised me, and I'm driving his tractor. Just to move it out of the way. Take my boots off here, John, because your cab looks nice and clean. Only got to move it 20 yards. Oh, I do like them in black, I must say. I love the Black Beauty ones. Hasn't a Black Beauty 1050? That'd be some beast. Well, this is nice. I love a 724. Poof! And as if by magic, it's all on. Yeah, we need luck. So we're going to go to the field and we'll have a look. Right then, so here we are then. Right then, here we are then. That's two thens very, very quick. There's too many thens. This is the Grange LDT toolbar, 6 metres. And this is a Vaderstad Rexius twin. Yes. So let's have a look at the Grange first. So essentially, it's getting a bit sunny. I don't know what outfit I'm wearing today. It's a bit my mind up. Got a woolly hat, sunglasses, t-shirt and a gillet. What sort of weather is it, Johnny? Is it sunny or is it cold? So yeah, here's the Grange low disturbance toolbar, and essentially what this is really is a low disturbance subsoiler without the packer. And essentially what it is really is a 12 leg 6 metre subsoiler. So why is it a subsoiler, I hear you ask? Why is it not just a drag? It's all because of the legs. So here's the legs. So you'll notice that there's a smaller point on these than your standard subsoiler. Now the reason it's a smaller point is because the legs are spaced closer together. So it's 50 centimetres in between these two legs, and on a normal subsoiler there's 75. So that means you can still lift the entire profile. So when it's unfolded, the entire 6 metre width still gets lifted exactly the same as a normal subsoiler, no different whatsoever. But it creates less disturbance, and it does that in a couple of ways. So you have these cutting discs on the front, and they cut directly in front of the legs. So if there's any trash or anything in front of it, or even if you're just in work ground like this is, it creates a little slot. It all cuts the trash so it doesn't start wrapping around the leg. And when you get a lot of trash wrapping around the leg, what can happen is you'll start bulldozing, so you're pushing quite a bit of soil out of the way, and then you're left with a bit of a channel behind. So the idea of the disc is to cut everything in front of the leg, and the leg comes through undisturbed. Now because they've got smaller points, they don't move as much soil, and the legs are a lot thinner as well. So if you combine the disc cutting at the front, the narrower legs and the smaller point, you get a lot less disturbance than you do with a conventional subsoiler. Because a normal subsoiler, you're still wanting to lift the entire width, but they're spaced further apart, and the wings and points are an awful lot bigger. So that's what makes it a low disturbance subsoiler. Now the only caveat with them is you can't go as deep as a normal subsoiler, though I can get this down to about 12 inches, whereas a conventional subsoiler you can go down to 18, 20, 22, 24. You can really sink them in, where this just can't. But for those applications where you wouldn't be subsoiling at that depth anyway, it's a beauty. And it does take some pulling about. Obviously it's all dependent on land type, what sort of soil you've got, if it's bodied, if it's light. And the Xerion copes with it in most conditions. In some really heavy land it takes, you know, nearly all the horsepower it's got. Drag it along, but then feels like this. It's bodied, but it's not too bad. We're just ticking it along nicely, really. Right, so it's on a parallel linkage, and what the parallel linkage is, basically, let me just lower this down because I've got it raised at the minute. So essentially the idea behind the parallel linkage, so you can see these bars here and that ram there. So to work this machine, normally you set your linkage, so you lower your linkage down, so you lower the whole thing down to a set depth, and then when you're turning on the headlands, hydraulically it'll lift the legs out and fold the wings, so you never have to touch your linkage. Although in this configuration with the Rexius on the back, I do lift the linkage as well, because I can lift the Rexius tines out at the same time. Because it's mounted on the 3-point linkage, what can happen, I can shear stabilise as if I've still got the Rexius tines in. Puts a little bit too much force on the back end. So, but I'll just demonstrate how it works then. So I've got it on the buttons at the back. So legs fold down first, the wings, and it comes down on that linkage. So I'm just lift it up a bit so it's not buried. So that's unfolded. So you'd set your linkage, so you'd unfold it like that, get your depth, whatever depth you want to run at on your linkage, then leave your linkage alone. Then when you come to the sorry, have I got my finger over this lens? And when you come to the headlands, lifts up, got some pins there so it folds halfway and stops. And then you'll see the discs as well, they're hydraulic, so they come up with it, so we'll keep an eye on them. the disc go down and the disc come up. There we go. So that's the folding and turning sequence. So it's very versatile. You can have a 3-point linkage on the back, drawbar on the back. We've got all the different bells, whistles and fancy pants bits here, isobus, lots of different drains, brakes, lights, 4 sets of spools. So yeah, you can pretty much drag anything behind it, and it makes it, you have to have a fairly big tractor, but it makes it into like a one pass, or can make it, should I say, into a one pass system. So we're doing a bit of subsoil, then taking out the wheelings, and then you've got your implement on the back doing the finishing or whatever sort of cultivations you're doing. So the Rexius twin, then it's a culti press. It's called a culti press because your cultivations here, culti press. So it's got sprung tines on the front, a levelling board, and then the Rexius press on the back, which do an immense job in cloddy land. Really is. If you've got cloddy land that's worked and it's baked and you know it's not good, the Rexius normally manages to sort them out. So how it works, then the tines, you can lift the tines up and down independently, alter the levelling board independently, and the rings are just fixed. So you control your depth of your tines on the hydraulics and control the levelling board and the hydraulics too. Hey. Right then, so with the Rexius, there's like a transport lock, so you can reverse and it won't open itself out. So before we unfold, oh, it's gone stiff. Oh, clips, can't there be a pain? Can't any clips be a pain, like link pins? And there we go, look. Pop that pin in there. Right, it's ready to unfold now. So trying to unfold on the tram line as well, they won't be running about on a tram line. Right, and so to unfold a Rexius, you have to go backwards, and it'll start to open itself up. The tyres will try to splay themselves out, and then it'll open it up like that, like it is doing. You have to go steady, nice and steady, nice and steady, and then, well, we're nearly there. That one's not come round very well. The next stage, so on a smaller tractor or power shift tractor or whatever, you just sometimes, like for part of it you can just put your foot on clutch for this next bit, but on this tractor it doesn't work. The Rexius will just sit there and dig itself an hole, so I have to drive forward slowly, and I've got to let it down on the rams. So you see how it's coming down now, and I try and drive forward at the same speed it's coming down. And slow, and then speed up a little bit at the end. And there we go. So that's the Rexius unfolded. So just going to go and put the pins in the Grange now. So when it's all, as you saw, like transport mode, the Grange folds up fully, and then when you're in the field, to stop it from folding all the way and wasting time on the headlands, you put those pins in. It does like a halfway fold, sort of like to 90, the wings to like 90 degrees. Right, so we're back in, so let's get ourselves set up, shall we? So there's Xerion to make it go forward. Basically, we'll go through this tractor like in depth at some point. We'll put it in gear, orange button, push it forward, handbrake off. Then when I'm in the field, I always have it in joystick mode. So I press the orange button there, puts it in joystick. So I'm going on the GPS. All these fields have been mapped. I think I've done 300, nearly 300 fields, I think, something like that. So my AB lines are already in here, but they're on the boundary because I've not been in this field yet since I got my new set of lines. I need to do some shifting, but we're going to put a slight angle on this. Right then, let's just go steady and alter things. So we'll drop the Grange in. Right, so let's drop that in. And I'm going to put the tines in a little bit on the Rexius, not a lot. I really don't want to put them in a lot because it's wet underneath. About that. And now I'm going to start with the levelling boards, just because it's quite loose and there's a bit of greenery. I can't go too aggressive with it. I just want to be knocking the tops off of the humps and dragging a little bit of soil with me when I can. But like I say, it's variable, it changes. So I've got the levelling board set on a joystick so I can adjust them up and down the field. See what she goes like at 12k. Ooh. Just get into the field a bit more and then we'll jump out and have a look. Looks alright from the back of the tractor, but you need to get out and have a look with your eyes. Dust! What is dust? Yeah. Right, so let's have a look then. Are we happy? So top, it's still square. Discs are cutting, and the legs aren't. The legs are so a bit of a dig down, see where we are. So that's the top of the point there. So the tines are just tickling nicely. It's not bringing, see, it's not bringing loads of wet up. And the levelling boards are just skimming the top. What I want. I'm not in a position to be carrying lots of soil, but I want to keep it. Oh, that's absolutely ideal. See, it's nice and level. Absolutely overjoyed with that. So that's set right. That's set right. Right, so let's crack on then. GPS engaged, cruise control engaged. Assume my side saddle position. Stare out this back window all day. before we start the rest of this video, just a quick birthday shout out to Sally. She's 60, and I just said I'd give her a little bit of a shout out and say I hope you have a wonderful day. And I can't believe you're 60. You don't look any older than, I don't know, put you at 39. Yeah. Anyway, happy birthday, Sally. Hope you have a great day and a lovely family weekend away. Well, this isn't exactly the ending to the video I was hoping for. Do you know, I tried really hard on that video. That's probably, I don't know, it might be one of my favourites. Maybe because I've got a drone now. But yeah, so the weather decided it was going to do this. So yeah, that's kind of put down on the video at the ending of it. Wanted to do a little bit more, but anyway, I hope you enjoy it all the same. Here's the chimney, look. I've got some old Uncle Pete at Tanvic Tyres. I've got some new tyres for it, look, and some new rims. Uncle Pete sorted it. Hey, she don't like an hairdresser's car anymore, does she, Pete? So yeah, thank you ever so much, everybody, for watching this video. It's took me a week or so to film it, just little bits and bobs here and there. So anyway, so yeah, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've all had a really good bank holiday, and we'll see you on the next video.